Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we will see how we can create a sales email prompt template that's grounded with flow merge fields. Now let's quickly see the use case that we are going to implement today. So let's say you are a Salesforce admin and your sales team requests an easier way to send emails to your contacts about all the marketing events nearby their location. And you create an email prompt template that launches a flow to get all the marketing events in the same city and state as your contact. And finally, you draft an email for the contacts about their nearby marketing events. And to implement this use case, there are few steps that we are going to do. And the first is we have to create a flow that will fetch all the marketing events from the same city and state as per your contact's location. Then we will create a sales email prompt template that will actually invoke our flow. And finally, we will see how we can test our sales email prompt template from the record. Now let's see all that in action. And to do that, let's log into your Salesforce org. And let's start by creating a flow. So in the quick find, search for flow. Click on this new flow, start from scratch and click on next, and in the type we have to select the template triggered prompt flow that will actually create a prompt template triggered flow for us. Now in the input type we have to select the automatic inputs, and in the prompt template type let's select the sales email template capability. Now this capability actually makes it possible to pass the data between the flow and the prompt template. And as soon as we select this template type, there are few more options to select the input data types, and the sender is automatically defaulted with the user object, and in the recipient I'm selecting the contact object. Now let's close this pop-up. Now let's add a get record element to fetch all the marketing events available for the location. And in the object, let's select the event object. Now for the filter criteria, our requirement says we have to get the marketing events based on the recipient's location. So for that, let's select the location field here. Location contains, in the value we will select the input recipient's mailing city, and we will add one more condition that will say location contains input recipient's mailing state. And now last but not the least, I'm adding one more condition to check if the event is already archived. So I'm selecting is archived equals false. Now we have to select this option all records to get all the marketing events that will fulfill this criteria. Now let's close this pop-up, and let's add a decision element here that will check if there is any result returned from this get marketing events element or not. So for the first outcome we are saying it as yes, and we will check that the get record element is not null. So this outcome path will get executed when the result from this element is not null, meaning when we have the marketing events available for the recipient location. In that case, this outcome path will get executed. Now for the default outcome, we are saying it as no, means there are no events available. Then let's close this pop-up as well. Now let's add the prompt instructions for both the paths. For the no, meaning when there is no events available, we are simply adding the prompt instruction saying that there is no events available for this location. That's it for this path. Now for the path when the events are available, we have to add a loop first. So this loop will iterate over all the events returned from this get record element. In the collection variable, we are selecting the get record option. And now for each record, we have to add the prompt instruction. So what it will do, it will iterate over each events and it will add the event details into our prompt instruction. So if there, for example, if there are 2 or 3 events, so we will have the details of all the 3 events in this prompt instruction. That's why we have added this loop. So it will loop over each event and add the event details for each events in this prompt instruction. So this way we have the details for each events. Now let's add the prompt instructions. And in the prompt instruction, I'm selecting event details here. And for the event details, let's add the current item, event subject. Then we have to add one more thing, event current item, event description. And I'm adding one more field, the current item, event start date. So for the event, it will store the subject, description and the start date for all the events available for that particular location. Now that our prompt instructions are done, let's close this pop-up as well. And now save this flow. Now let's activate this. Now that our flow is created, let's go to the prompt builder and start creating our sales email prompt template. For that, search for prompt builder in this quick find setup and click on this new prompt template button. And from the prompt template type, we have to select the sales email option. And for the prompt template name, let's name our template. And in the recipient type, we are selecting the contact, because in the flow also we have selected the same recipient type. Here we have selected the contact and here also we have to select the contact. So this means we are sending out the email to our contact. If you are working with leads, you can select the lead. So right now I am using this contact only and I am keeping this related object empty for now. Now let's click on next. Now let's add our prompt instructions. So I have already written one template. Let's just copy this and I'm pasting it here. So this, now let's go through our prompt instructions and replace some placeholders with actual CRM data and our flow. So here I have added that you are an account executive and your name is sender name. So we have to replace this placeholder with actual sender name. So let's go to this resource and sender option, and from here select the full name. Now your prospect is recipient and here we have to replace this placeholder with the recipient full name. So here we are basically giving the information about the sender and the recipient. So this will give the template some contextual information about the participants involved in this whole process. Now let's replace this placeholder also with the recipient company name. Let's say Okay, now that we have given the information about the sender and the recipient, let's go through the other instructions that we have. So we are simply adding the basic instruction that you are following up with your contact to invite them to a nearby event. And in the instructions we are given some basic information about the language and the size of the email. It must be no longer than 60 characters, and we have to use the clear, concise, straightforward language. And finally, for the event information, we have added that add the following event information to the email from this flow. So this is currently a placeholder. So let's delete this placeholder and replace it with actual flow. So go to this flows and let's select our flow. So get marketing event details, and finally it will end the email with a clear call to action to attend the event. Now let's preview our prompt template by adding any random contact. So I'm selecting one contact here and clicking on this save and preview. Here we can see the template has given the resolution and response. First we can see in the resolution the sender name is replaced with the my name, and the recipient name is replaced with the contact that we have selected over here. And in the instructions we can see that the event details is coming it as like this. So currently it seems there are 3 events for this particular contact's location. So the flow is replaced with the actual events returned from our flow. And in the response also we can see that the LLM has generated a very beautiful, clear and concise email template that includes all the details that we have added in our instructions. So we can see that the event details are displayed over here with all the data like the start date and the subject of the event, and also it has encouraged the customer to attend the event, and also if they have any questions they can reach out to them with the subject and the body. So it's a very clear and concise email template that the LLM has generated. Now that our template is ready, let's activate this template. And now let's go to our contacts to see how we can use this template to send the email to our contacts. I'm selecting the any random contact, and now we have to click on this option email. And once we click on this, scroll down a bit and you will see this draft with Einstein icon here. So once you click on this button, it will open up a pop-up like this where we have to select our prompt template. So in the use pre-made instructions, I am selecting our custom email template that we have created. You can see this is our template, draft an email for contact. And now as soon as you select your template, it will start creating your sales email template. So we can see that the prompt template the LLM has returned a very beautiful, concise and clear email template with just few clicks. And now you can just click on done, and if you want to send out the email, you can simply click on send and it will send out the email. So this way we can see that with just few point and clicks we can save a lot of time to our sales reps, allowing them to focus on more critical tasks. And we are not just saving time, we are also ensuring consistency and quality across our communications, which ultimately leads to better results. So that's all for this video. If you have any questions or feedbacks or concerns, please feel free to post in the comment sections, and thanks for watching.